Welcome to WhisperVoid, the Unblinking Glitch. Welcome, listeners, to WhisperVoid. Tonight, we plunge into the kind of fear that doesn't just prickle your skin, it burrows deep, twisting your perception until you question everything you see. We're going to explore a story pulled from the deepest, most shadowed corners of the internet, a thread that began innocently enough on Reddit, but unraveled into something truly, utterly terrifying. This isn't just about a ghost or a monster, it's about a glitch, a tiny, imperceptible flaw in the fabric of your everyday life that, once noticed, refuses to be unseen. The original post, made by a user who went by Pixel, seemed mundane at first. It was titled, simply, "My monitor has a dead pixel, but it's different." What followed was a seemingly innocuous description of a minor technical malfunction. But as the story unfolds, you'll understand why this wasn't just a dead pixel. It was a doorway. Pixel began their post by describing a new gaming monitor, pristine and perfect, until one evening they noticed it. A single, black pixel near the center of the screen. Annoying, but common. They tried all the usual tricks: gentle pressure, pixel fix, a software, nothing worked. But then, as the days turned into nights, they started to notice something unsettling. This wasn't a static dead pixel. Sometimes, when the screen displayed a bright image, the black dot seemed to deepen, to become an impossible void. And more disturbing still, sometimes, just for a fleeting moment, they swore they saw it blink. Not the monitor blinking, but the pixel itself. A tiny, unblinking void, momentarily closing, then opening again. They thought they were losing their mind. They posted on Reddit, half joking about their sentient dead pixel. The initial responses were typical: return it, it's just your eyes, gaming too much. But Pixel couldn't shake the feeling. The blinks became more frequent, more noticeable. And it wasn't just a blink. Sometimes, the pixel would expand, just for a fraction of a second, revealing a sliver of something behind it. A faint, impossible color, a deep, bruised purple, or a sickly green that would flash and vanish. One evening, while watching a movie, the screen went dark for a scene. In the absolute black, the pixel wasn't black anymore. It glowed faintly, a tiny pinprick of that unnatural purple light, and Pixel swore they heard something then. A faint, dragging whisper, just at the edge of hearing, emanating from the monitor. They became obsessed. They started leaving the monitor on, even when not using it, just watching that single, impossible dot. They noticed it wasn't always black. Sometimes, it would reflect light, not like a screen, but like a tiny, polished obsidian sphere. And in that reflection, they saw a room that wasn't theirs. A distorted, endless space filled with shifting shadows. And in the very center of that reflection, staring out, was an eye. An enormous, unblinking eye. Dark and ancient, staring directly back through the pixel. The blinks of the pixel became longer, lasting a second, then two. During these blinks, the monitor's image would entirely shift. It wasn't static. It was a glimpse into that impossible room, filled with the shifting shadows and the ever-present, monstrous eye. The whispers from the monitor grew clearer, not words, but a guttural, wet sound, like something trying to breathe through a thick, viscous fluid. Pixel stopped sleeping. They started documenting everything, taking photos and videos, but the anomaly always seemed to disappear or be unrecordable, just as they captured it. The strain was showing. Their Reddit posts became more fragmented, more desperate. "It's watching me," they wrote. "It knows when I'm looking away." The last post from Pixel was chilling. It wasn't a question or a plea for help. It was a statement. Short, stark, and utterly terrifying. It simply read, "It just blinked, but the screen stayed on. It looks satisfied, and now I can feel it, behind my own eyes." After that, silence. Their account went dark. No more posts, no more activity. Just that final, chilling declaration hanging in the digital air. What happened to Pixel? Did the constant observation of that impossible pixel finally break their mind? Or did that tiny, unblinking doorway finally open wide enough to let something through? Something that didn't just observe, but absorbed. As you listen to this, as you stare at your own screen, consider this. How often do you dismiss a tiny flaw, a single, imperceptible anomaly? What if that dead pixel on your phone, or that flicker on your TV, isn't just a malfunction, but a window? A window to something that's always there, always watching, just waiting for you to notice it. Because once you've truly seen the unblinking glitch, it's very hard to unsee it. And sometimes, the scariest stories aren't those that end with a jump scare, but those that leave you wondering what if it just blinked, and you didn't even notice.